All right, welcome in.
Oh,
Episode
oh.
70.
How are you doing? 71. 71.
Episode, excuse me, pardon me. Episode 71.
Hey, 71.
We're back.
You look great.
Virtual. Thank you. You
Yeah,
look
you look
great as
great.
always.
Thank you.
We're back. Virtual as always. You might notice something different about me growing out my mustache, obviously.
Sweet.
Looks pretty good, right?
I can see it.
It's been like 7 days. I just can't grow on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just give us more
I
time.
figured I'm not gonna see anyone for a while, so might as well just give it a shot.
Well, so you're traveling west.
Yeah. Life update.
Yeah, traveling west.
Welcome into the podcast.
2, 1.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Dang.
Welcome in.
We're
back,
We're so
baby.
bad.
I missed you.
Missed you too. I know.
I didn't have anyone to hang out with.
No recording.
And you are having a tough time.
What the
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
You're manifesting
It's episode-
destiny as you speak.
Well, I pretty much always am.
Right.
But it's episode 71. I am in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, on the second leg of a big family trip in the western part of the United States. Just did Yellowstone for a couple days. Did what was that other park?
The Tetons.
Oh, the Grand Tetons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
How
Grand
about them?
Tetons. That was pretty cool. If you're ever out, I mean, you got to go see. Like Yellowstone is, you hear all the things about it, and it's
Right.
like still blows it out of the water. It's one of those things like you expect it to be awesome, and it's just way better somehow. It was so cool.
That's sick.
Yeah, so I'm halfway through. We're going to Utah tomorrow, and
Hell yeah.
then
Go see the Yetis.
do the Yetis. Yeah, in the
Go see
Mormons, and then we're
Taija
doing.
Gimla.
Did they land on Yetis? I thought it was just Utah football hockey.
No, they're the Utah Hockey Club, but their president was like, yeah, a lot of kids supporting the Yetis. Well, we don't know. I was like,
Okay, good.
better be the Yetis.
Yeah, so I just got this sweet little cowboy hat today, and I've been talking in a cowboy accent all day.
As you should.
All day.
You just
going to
did
the rodeo later.
Okay. Yeah, so you're just going full in.
Yeah.
You did a little family photo shoot that I am itching to get my hands on somewhere.
Yeah, well, I'll upload the pictures somewhere on socials, but it was like
Please.
they do them at like festivals and stuff, and you just dress up in old clothes from like whatever the 1700s, and there's a bunch of cowboy stuff. And my dad was like a fur trapper or whatever. And he
Yeah.
was awesome.
So sweet. He should do that. He should just wear that all the time.
I know. That's what we were saying. It looks so perfect on him. It was so funny.
So cool.
Yeah, man. How have you been? Oh, I also started watching Wrexham, by the way. So I've also been doing the English accent.
What are your thoughts on
Welsh.
Wrexham? It's a great little documentary. They do a great job.
Dude, it's awesome. I've only seen like 10 episodes.
Me too. I didn't go past season 1.
It's been really good so far. I've been doing that instead of the homework that I somehow have to do on June 29th. But
yeah,
whatever.
Ridiculous. Yeah, and not allowed. Not cool. That's sweet though. That's awesome. I got my Bill Walton shirt finally. Instagram ad. This thing ordered it probably about a month ago. Finally came in. So thank you, Instagram ads. I'm just glad it actually got here. So
yeah. Anything else new or what?
I'm trying to think. Nope. Literally just been doing the same things I usually do.
Nice.
But I've been living vicariously through your Westerner self. It has looked really cool. What are your thoughts on the region as a whole?
Oh man, my ears haven't popped in like days. In like my lymph nodes, I'm actually the elevation I think is getting me. Or Mickey's sick. We had to share a bed, but I think the elevation's getting to me.
Right.
No, it's pretty sweet. I mean, last night we went to a concert up on this mountain that I'm actually looking at right now. Took a ski lift up there.
Unreal. And
they had like beers before you got on the ski lift, and you just go up there. And String Cheese Incident, if any listeners know, I've seen them a couple times now, but they're just like a jam band, and they were just shredding. It was awesome. Watching the sunset over the Tetons with like them. It was so sick.
That's sweet.
Those the Kanye Mountains. Shoes off, just walked around.
Nice.
Those are the Kanye Mountains. Yep.
Nice. Very cool.
Kanye Mountains. No, it's cool out here. People are. It's a lot of touristy stuff.
Right.
But the landscape's unreal. It just doesn't get old. And seeing all the animals, like the buffaloes. Like buffaloes are my. I'll release a list. I've been keeping track of every animal we've seen so far, and I'll pull it up real quick.
Okay, please.
We'll see
are they just massive? Is that weird seeing an animal that large?
Dude, I mean, it's unreal how big they are. Their heads are giant. It's crazy. It is unreal. What do I got? Animals on trip. Number one, first saw a mallard, obviously.
Oh, what? Oh, mallard. Okay, big one.
Mallard. I've seen a lot of types. We have a bird book that I've been flipping through. I've seen all types of ducks.
The common link.
The last thing I added was cricket. I saw a cricket the other day.
Okay, very cool. Nice.
So I've just been doing really every animal.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of animals.
So it's like elk,
Nice.
newt fly, someone's cat,
Okay.
a horse, antelope. So there's like cool stuff.
You saw an antelope? We have those here?
Yep.
We have those here. That's unbelievable. I had no idea. I thought that was an African.
We also saw an American white pelican, which I didn't know pelicans were like in the middle of the country in fresh water.
Oh, they're in New Orleans. What's Zion doing over there?
We have the binoculars and we were looking through, and I was like, "Is that a fucking pelican? Like, why is its mouth so big?" And we looked up in the bird book, and there was like American white pelican, super rare to see, but we saw it and it was sick.
Score. C.J. McCollum. There he is. DeJounte
Murray.
Wow. Very cool.
Future East or Western Conference winners.
Yeah, no, I love that trade. All right, we want to get into it?
I think that's a terrible trade. Yeah, let's get into it. I think this episode, we normally say we're going to do segments and then just blabber about everything. This time, I think we're just going to blabber and update each other because a lot of sports have been happening and I haven't had service out here. Like Yellowstone, if you ever go, it's actually like no service anywhere.
Okay.
Like that's their thing in the park. You like ask, is there Wi-Fi? And they're like, no.
No Wi-Fi.
So I haven't been able to really be up. Like I couldn't open Twitter, which I was fine with it. But if you're one of those people that needs to like I wouldn't go there, like championship weekend or something.
Right. Bad place to go. Bad time to go.
There's no TVs, nothing. But it's cool scenery. I wouldn't go there in the winter when or like college football in the fall. I'd stay home. Yeah.
Fair. Noted.
Yeah. So I think we're just I have a list of things to talk about. I don't know if you added any. I added a couple. We'll just kind of ramble on if you want to, whatever you want to start with.
Yeah, no, the only one I added was sports personalities. Underrated.
I also added.
Just want to rip a couple of those off. That's all I added. And then I took notes on the ones you sent over.
Okay, me too. And then I also put down Wimbledon draw because that came out today.
Wimbledon draw. Okay, huge.
We are a sports podcast, of course.
We are, if nothing else. Yes. Perfect.
The first, actually.
Nice. Yep, ever.
I got recognized by probably 200 people so far.
200? That seems low.
Well, there's only like 1,500 people in the whole town, so it's a pretty high percentage if you're going off that.
Percentage-wise, it's right.
Per square mile, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mileage out here.
16 if you count, 215 if you count Buffalo. Okay.
So many buffalo.
Dude,
it's just like open plains, and now there's like 5,000 buffalo in the park. We killed them all, obviously. There used to be like 10 million.
Really?
Dude, we were there, and I was like, oh my God, there's buffalo everywhere. It was like seeing squirrels, like turkey in Plymouth or Massachusetts. And everyone was like, imagine 10 million. Like, you wouldn't even be able to move.
Just so many buffalo.
So many buffalo. 10 million.
What an animal.
All right. Do you want to start with NBA draft?
Speaking of the Buffaloes. Oh, yeah, sure. We can start with NBA draft. Let's do it.
That seems like the biggest thing of it.
Yeah. What an interesting draft it was this year.
I know. So I wasn't I had no service during the NBA draft at all. So I called you and I was like, give me the update on the pick, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I've looked into it after a little bit, and there seems to be some headlines still after like a boring draft.
Yeah. Well, it's just like there's a couple like, again, I spent a lot of time in convincing myself to not take anything that happened in the draft that seriously, because all these guys aren't that good. I don't think better than me for sure. But in terms of like going to make an impact next year, I don't really know how many.
Okay, but how much worse do you think it is than last year? Take away the first overall pick.
I mean, like way worse, I think.
Dude, but even Scoot barely played.
Yeah, but like Brandon Miller was awesome. You know, like
on a team with hobos.
I'm telling you, like they're garbage. They're actually garbage. I
think Baylor Shireman could do the same thing Brandon Miller did last year.
Well, I think at that no, Brandon Miller was really good. Brandon Miller was really good.
He was really good, but they like sucked, and he averaged like 20 points.
Yeah,
like
Baylor Shireman
people do a year.
20 points next year. No way.
On the Hornets?
I think no. Baylor Shireman could not average 20 points on the Hornets. No way.
Last year?
I'm not buying it. Nope. I love him. I love him to death. He's not averaging.
All right, I might be two in on Baylor.
I watched Baylor Shireman all of last year too, and I love him.
He's 6'7", made 100 threes. So.
Yeah, no, I love him. He's the big white. Always got him going. Richair,
The first overall pick.
First overall pick. Here's Jay Bilas. I never know how to pronounce it. Billis. Jay Billis, the esteemed draft guy. One of his lines on Zach, the number 1 overall draft pick. Not a spectacular athlete, but athletic, and not really a creator.
Perfect. So he's probably good at, I don't know, reading. I don't know. Like, what is he?
What is he good at then? Number 1 overall pick. And Sarr was refusing to go to the Hawks, which was weird because then he goes to the Wizards, and it's like, okay, have fun there. So I think at the top of the draft, it was really, really bad. The thing, the number 1 thing that I was like, this was weird, was why did the Spurs trade Rob Dillingham? That was the single player that I was like, oh, he could be fun. He could be fun. He is like an athletic creator. And it's like, oh, Spurs, they're going to get Castle and Dillingham. That's kind of fun. This summer league is going to be fun. And then it's like the Timberwolves get him, which I love for the Timberwolves. That's awesome. But I just don't why would you do that if you're the Spurs? I just don't get it. You got him for a 6th grader. You got him for a 2031 pick. Like what? I just don't understand.
My whole thing, I didn't even know that happened because, well, I obviously wasn't too locked in, but all I see is Bronny. Everything's Bronny.
Yeah.
Every single thing. Like Rob Dillingham was one of the best players in the country last year. He got drafted, top 10, top 20?
7, I think. Yeah, 8.
7, yeah, top 10. And it's like no one is even talking about that because all they care about is Bronny. Which is, I get it because it's LeBron. Right. But it's like, I didn't even know. I don't know what the guy's name is that got drafted first overall. And that's, I mean, I'm not super locked in on European basketball, and I wasn't too locked in on the draft, but like, I should know that. Every sports guy knows the first overall pick in most drafts. Yep. And it's like, all I see is Bronny, who got drafted, who shouldn't have been drafted still.
54th.
I will say props to you for saying he was going to get drafted.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Hand up. I'll say I'm wrong when I'm wrong.
Yep.
But
he's always getting drafted. JJ Redick too. That was a weird moment because they released like the behind the scenes, like when they make the call, and it's like, "Hey, Bronny, I'm Coach JJ Redick. Like, welcome to the Lakers." And I was like, "What planet? What reality am I?"
I mean, the Celtics had an opportunity to do something awesome.
I would have loved it if they did. They're too mature. No, but yeah, that's honestly my biggest thing was why did the Spurs do that? Why did the Spurs do that? That would have been cool.
Okay, I had a couple small things, but that I don't know what the logic was behind that. So they traded him to the Timberwolves, right?
Traded him to the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves gave him a 2031 pick
first. That's it,
and then a swap, but like the worst half of a swap, I think.
And
also, it's like, why are you doing?
The Timberwolves are going to be good in 2031.
So are the Spurs, right? You would think,
right? In theory,
But
why do you want the Timberwolves pick if they're going to be good?
Yeah, 7 years from now. So I don't. I mean, again, I like. Oh yeah, get a little. I don't know if Rob
Dillingham's pretty small. He's pretty small.
Yeah, he's fun though. But again, it's like you had him. It's not like you were giving up stuff.
Yeah, he could be like a Quickly or something.
Yeah. Which I'm like, that's fun, but whatever. What do I know? And then Castle's more deep.
All right. Some other things I had were Dalton Connect 4. Great.
Connect 4 is sweet.
Off. I think he's awesome. He's on the Lakers, right? Did you lose me?
And the lost you.
I can hear you perfectly, so I'm going to keep talking. Dalton Connect, I think he's going to be awesome on the Lakers. He's basically just Austin Reeves, but younger. And I don't love Austin Reeves. I've never been a big fan, but he should be good. Terrence Shannon going
TSJ
that late in the draft. Just
innocent.
Innocent, proven innocent, Kevin Spacey style.
Wow. Yeah. No, yeah, true.
Factored. Okay, fact.
Legally innocent.
Yeah. Still, the Kevin Spacey stuff was so weird, though. Did we talk about that?
I don't know if we was talked about it on the pod.
That was so weird. Well,
we went on and just like did the media tour. That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. But anyway, Terrence Shannon, he could be like a rookie of the year.
He could be Cam Thomas.
He's bigger than Cam Thomas now.
I think he's like Cam Thomas-y.
Really? I thought he was bigger than Cam Thomas.
We'll
see if he gets enough minutes on the Timberwolves.
Yeah. So Timberwolves, TSJ, and Rob Dillingham, arguably the two most intriguing players in the draft.
Another big story I thought was Zach Edey top 10 because everyone was like, he's not even going to play in the NBA.
Top 10.
Back-to-back player of the year. It's one of those things where it's like, in a bad draft, why not take a guy that's won back-to-back Player of the Year? And if it works out, you're like a genius, I guess,
You're
on
a
the
genius.
jerseys.
Yes, I love it.
Like, I know his play style might not translate to the modern NBA, but like, say he's just awesome.
Yeah.
Even like a Rudy Gobert or something. Like, I'm not saying he's that good defensively, but like a big guy that might not be able to score but can help defensively. Like,
help
that's
set
just a
screen.
game changer for your team.
Yep.
And
Take
they
it.
need big men. So I think that's a great pick, honestly.
Yep. It was weird to me that Connect dropped as low as he did. I thought that was going to be a guy that people reached on because I that was one of the guys where I was like, yeah, he's not like a top 5 pick, but like, yeah, I would draft Dalton Connect for sure. And he was like,
I thought Dalton Connect was better than Rob Dillingham last year. I mean,
I thought so too. I know the upside and whatever, like, but I mean, what do I know? Clearly.
Dalton Connect, was also bet. I mean, he might be a little older. He is older. That's it. He's older, isn't he?
He is old. True. And
The age thing in the NBA draft is so overrated. If you draft a guy like even the Baylor Shireman thing, if he was 18 or 19, he would have been a top 5 pick.
Probably, yeah.
With his stats, his size, and what he can do.
Yeah, true.
But he's like 23 or whatever.
Yeah,
23. So these guys don't want a project, but like he could plug and play on the Celtics easily.
Yep. I'd gotten dialed with basically the top 15 guys. Really familiarized myself with them, and then a few like other sprinkled throughout, obviously. And I still don't know who the Hornets took at 6. I have no idea who he is.
Didn't even know that. Yeah. What's his name?
John Saloon. 6 overall.
Oh, he'll be good.
Right, you know who they could have taken? Donovan Clingan.
Heard of him.
He seems like he's going to be all right. I think Klingan's pretty good for number 6 in this draft. Topic, who's named Nikola Topic, and he's from Serbia. So, I mean, he's got to
be good at passing.
I like the Bruzelis upside. Cody Williams. Like, I mean, if we're just like, why are we taking, who is Tajun Saloon? Who is that?
It's one of those things where, like, if it doesn't work, you're the stupidest person on earth. But if it does work and no one knows who this guy was, and then it's like, you're just a genius at scouting. So,
but my thing is, when has it ever worked for the Hornets? I guess that's
never. But it's like, I mean, LaMelo. I don't know if it's like if he's bad, are we just going to be saying that it's a bad draft? Like all these guys.
Yeah,
like
I know,
if Billingham's bad, is it just going to be like,
true.
oh, this draft sucks? Or are we just going to be like, they missed on some players? Because there'll be some good players in this draft.
Yeah,
is.
There has to be, right? Yeah. Jared McCann on Philly, kind of perfect.
I love that. Love that because I
hate him
so much. Not the TikTok stuff, just I hate Duke.
Yeah, you're anti-Dukeite.
I hate Duke, and he went to a team that I hate, so it's easy for me to hate on him. But if he's great, then it will be as much pain as possible.
A huge day for you because you not only had that, but you also had all the stuff coming out that Kyle Filipowski, who's your least favorite college athlete, is apparently a total weirdo. And there's a very weird
weirdo getting groomed. You guys have a lot in common.
Okay, not 7-1, but
okay. Well, you went to the Jazz.
Jazz, which seems perfect for a guy, for someone
for a Mormon,
right? The Jazz also picked Isaiah Collier, 29th. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but I'm a big mock draft guy. Years out, he was always like number 1 for like the last years, and he went 29th. So very interesting. Very interesting.
Who do you like early rookie of the year?
Early rookie of the year. Well, I think it's going to be like who plays, right? I mean, Sarr is going to play for Washington.
Yeah.
I think they just traded Avdija, right?
Yeah. Danny Ajiva.
Yeah, Danny the Israelite. I think Sarr should be there. I don't know if Reed Shepherd has a chance, to be honest.
Reed Shepherd, if it works, he'll be awesome. But I think there's a lot.
Just year one on that team in terms of shots. You know, like I mean, Udoka, I like what they do. And then Dillingham. You know, if Dillingham like all of a sudden is like a really fun bench guy on the T-Wolves on a really good team, you might get a lot of clicks and stuff like that. This also might be the year though where like a Michael Carter Williams wins it. You know, wouldn't shock me at all.
Even the guy that went first overall, like you're gonna get the Hawks need a guy to step up,
not athletic and not a creator. So
right, so maybe he will be good at being like the assistant coach. I don't know, like what is he gonna do? What does he do if he's not athletic or the passer?
Not really athletic, but not a creator.
So what is he? He's just like a statue.
Is he like a spot up shooter? I don't even know.
My rookie of the year pick, first ever undrafted rookie of the year, big DJ Burns Jr. With the Cavs. How did he not get drafted, but Bronny got drafted?
That was the that's like the Edey mentality. It's like, yeah, go take Edey. It's like, yeah, go take Burns. Go take big
He
old
lost
DJ
like
Burns.
50 pounds, I think. I have a
Guy 10 times out of 10.
I do want to say though on the Bronny thing, I know I've been hating a lot. I think it's totally fine. Like you're LeBron James, you should be able to play with your son if you want. It happens all the time in sports. Like Bill Belichick just brought his whole family.
Yep.
I think there's no problem with especially a second round pick. And let me find this picture. The kid that AJ Johnson.
Yeah, the Bucks drafted.
Yeah, in the first round, averaged less than 3 points, less than an assist, and less than 1.5 rebounds.
Upside. It's just upside with him.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
But the Bronny thing is the same. Like people will say he had no stats or nothing, including me. But like there's guys going in the first round that didn't produce as well. I just don't.
Cody
think
Williams was bad this year, by the way. I watched a lot of Cody Williams.
Yeah.
Not good, and he went 10th overall.
No, it's a bad draft. I guess it's a bad draft. It's just the Bronny stuff's so annoying to me. Like we just won. We can get into that. How I saw a couple pictures of First Take. I haven't been watching any sports media stuff, and you can update me if I'm wrong. But it seems like every single outlet is just like Bronny this, Bronny that. The First Take did top 5 nicknames that Bronny should call his dad. Was that real?
Yeah,
that was real.
2-3.
That was an option. That was a top 5 pick. Was 2-3.
It's like Steven's A list or whatever.
Hey, the state 2-3.
The state of ESPN, I would say, like covering basketball is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's like the draft. I had to shut the draft off because I was like half watching a movie with the fam, half watching the draft on my phone. And I was like, I can't listen to these people talk anymore because everyone, it's like, well, I'm being lectured by Woj about what like nepotism is, and I was like, cool, I don't care about this. And then it's like, I just coverage is horrendous, like it's so bad, and I'm like, what are we doing, fellas? Like we went from having like Bill Simmons and like Jalen Rose like back in the day, and so now we have like Richard Jefferson, who I like, and then we have like whoever else who are the worst. And it's like I just don't understand how their basketball coverage is so horrible. And First Take continues to just be an absolute joke. I can't watch it.
Shambles.
And I'm not the type of guy that's
just
like, I can't watch it.
There's so much going on.
Yeah.
No one's talking about the first overall pick. Any of the top 5 picks is just like Bronny. Bronny should call his dad Bron.
Yep. It's just like, and I'm not that type of guy who's like, oh, I'm boycotting. It's just like, no, I just don't enjoy watching it at all.
And I get the argument with that is like the kind of argument is like, just don't watch it. Just watch whatever's better. But there's nothing, like it's not good. I want something good. It used to be good and now it's bad. I get don't watch it, but like Sports Center back in the day was like prime life.
The coolest thing ever. And now Sports Center is like hardly on because it's all the debate shows, which like I understand capitalism wise, but it's like your debate shows stink.
It's like Stephen A. Smith was at the actual political president's debate or whatever. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Analyst.
I don't even
know.
How
pissed are you if you're the Stephen A. of politics? How pissed are you if Stephen A. is coming up? Are you just like, oh my god? I had a question. I had a hypothetical for you.
Yeah.
Related to the draft.
Go ahead.
The Hawks offer you the first overall pick for Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser. Are you taking it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you take it?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
And take Rishayer? I don't think I
you have to, dude.
I don't know if you have to with this one.
I don't know if do I have to draft that kid or can I draft
I know. I like Sarr a lot better, but it's like, let's say you have to draft Rishayer.
I also, if I have to take him, I don't know. He doesn't fit with the team right now, but I could also, I have to pick that kid, so would I rather have Rishayer or the other two?
Yeah, I think you have to pick him.
All right, then I wouldn't do it. But if I could have the first overall pick and then trade it again, I'd maybe do that. That's where my thought process was.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just don't. I don't know if I'd do that.
I don't think I would. I don't think I would if I was just keeping. If I got to keep Pritch.
But what other year would that even be a conversation? So fun. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. That's all I have draft specifically. If you want to,
last year we were talking about like, would you trade Tatum for Wemby?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Before he even played.
Yep, exactly. It's all craziness.
And now it's like, would you trade the first overall pick for your backup, for your 8th and 9th man?
I don't know. I don't think I would.
Yeah, I don't know if I would.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
All right, there's
do the trades.
Quick. What? Yeah, I was just gonna say trades and free agents
Yeah.
Paul George declined his player option, which was like so much money.
Taking meetings with the Magic, Clippers, and the Sixers. Sixers.
Neither
Not
any
the
of those
Warriors.
teams will still all suck.
Not
Well,
the
the Warriors can't pay him. They would have to trade for him.
Especially because they have that new thing where it's like that hard,
Yeah.
that new rule. Yeah, that they're going to get ended by.
Thank you, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Matt says hi, Mom. She said, "Fuck you."
Damn it, dude.
Yeah, I know. She hates
No.
you.
I will talk to you about the Magic thing. Paul George to the Magic. Is that so crazy? That sounds fun to me.
I'm at this point
knocking Klay Thompson to them.
It's not crazy, but at this point, I'm just out on Paul George. If I'm the Magic, I would rather save some cap space and just build around Paolo. Get these younger guys working well together.
Maybe get
instead of buying a number one and trying to force him to win. It's like you see how good you're going to beat the Celtics with Paul George? I don't think so. And you have a Magic team that could, in 5 years, 4 years, compete for a championship. I would rather have that, build them up together with the chemistry. There's obviously still a couple pieces away, but that's how it works when you are rebuilding, or not even rebuilding. They just always.
That's why I don't hate Klay if it's for the right number, just because he's not going to like clog it up really. But if
is he going to be? He won't clog it up, but is he going to be a
I don't even know if he's
is he going to be a leader?
I don't know. It's always weird. Like I'm so like PTSD'd by the Kyrie stuff, where it's like you have all these young guys and you bring a star in because you're like, yeah, the star, it'll just, good players equal better team. Where it's like Kyrie actually was horrible for that team just because of like you have all these ascending guys and you have a guy who's already here, and it makes things really weird. So it's like, should you even do that? Should you instead just wait a year and then go grab Fred VanVleet to be like really good as like a really solid as a vet guy? I don't know. So I don't know if
I want to say something about Paul
I would
George.
If I was Philly.
I don't think. Yeah, I do it if I was Philly. I don't think Paul George gets enough hate for what he's done to teams.
Okay.
Every single team he's been on, he's told them he wants to resign and retire there, like Kyrie-esque, and he leaves every time he can. Which I get it. You want to win a championship and you don't have the team, which may be your fault. I'm not saying it. And he just takes more money, which I get. Like, money's a lot. But like, you can't. He said he wants to retire a Clipper, and now he's just gone his first contract to try and win a championship somewhere else because he can't do it. And every year it's like he was good in the playoffs this year, but he's always injured or kind of choked in the playoffs. Can't really get them there. I know he was great with the Thunder that one year. He's had great years, obviously, with the Pacers way back when, but it hasn't been consistent. And it's like, if I'm a young team like the Magic, do I really want that guy that's like gonna kind of screw over our cap space and then maybe not even get us to where we want to be? That's all I'm saying.
No, it's a great shout.
People hate on Kyrie, but Paul George, and people hate on like Harden for always bouncing around, but Paul George is going to be on his fourth team, taking a bunch of supermaxes, and has never brought anyone anything.
And he's just like, what was your welcome to the NBA moment?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I guess that's just all we got from him. And I think
it's whatever. I think he's a great basketball player. People think he's a lot better than he is, I think, because he's obviously a great two-way player, but people think he's like.
Well, he's always been the model of like. He's always been this sort of model of like, dude, he just does.
He's just
everything
a big forward that can shoot.
Yeah, he does everything really well. He's so awesome. Smooth. It's like, if I could build a player in a lab, like, it'd kind of be Paul George, And it's like, well, why isn't he like one of the 5 best players in the league? He might have been for a year.
If you could build a player in the lab, it wouldn't look like Steph Curry, but Steph Curry is like miles better. Like, it's not about that. It's about what if you got the dog in you, you got the dog.
It's all the perception stuff. I don't think he leaves LA. I really don't. I mean, look, his little media career appears to be blossoming. I would love it if he went back to Indy. That would be fun.
That'd be fun. I mean, there'd be a lot of places that'd be fun, but how old is he? He's so injury prone. If I'm the Magic, I'm not offering him Supermax.
No. I wouldn't.
And I also think if I'm the Sixers, I get it. If I'm the Sixers, I just don't think Paul George is the guy that gets you over the hump. I don't.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of desperation, right, with them.
In the playoffs, would you rather have him or Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler.
And it didn't work with Jimmy Butler, so.
True, but no Maxey back then. Now we have Maxey being a guy. But again, it's like Maxey's, Yeah, I think I'd probably do it if I was Philly. I wouldn't want to. Like if I was, I would just never want to be. It doesn't like fire me up, but I'm just like they probably have to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, or
I
else
hate
you're giving up on the whole Embiid experiment. But the
McCall.
process,
Yeah, McCall
this
Bridges
is
to New York
insanity.
for 5
Insanity.
first-round picks. I don't mind it as a like, oh, you got McCall Bridges. Money-wise, him and Jalen Brunson are making like less than Bradley Beal. That's cool.
Yep.
5 first-round picks, a lot of them not yours, so they could, it's like, oh, trading them 5 of our first-round picks, we're going to be good for the next 5 years, so it doesn't matter. Not the case here. Seems a little crazy, huh? I'm not scared as a Celtics fan. This doesn't scare me at all, and it cost them 5 first-round picks. That seems nuts.
Exactly. And every team now is just building to beat the Celtics, which is awesome. But I don't think this puts them over the hump, I'm being honest. And I also hate Villanova and that Villanova team especially. So I'm fine with it. I can just hate the Knicks a bunch more. I think 5 first-round picks is insanity. We got 3 from the Nets when we traded pretty much prime Paul Pierce and aging Kevin Garnett.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Mikal Bridges, who averaged less points than DeJounte Murray last year.
Yes.
It's like 5 first-rounders. I don't know if Tatum, would Tatum go for?
I mean, how many
What
more
would you
could
trade
there be?
an all-star starter?
No, that is literally like the all-star starter rate, right? Like, I mean, credit to Brooklyn. They actually did something like smart. I think it's like, oh, these suckers really want Mikal Bridges. How's 5 first-round picks? Oh, they did it. They said yes. Okay, sure. That's literally just sure, you could have him for 5 first-rounders. Cool, we'll take him.
Cool.
All right, man.
And all right, you can have Bogdanovich.
It's funny because it's what happens when you deal with teams with massive fan bases like a New York or like a Lakers, even Celtics too. Where it's like, oh my dude, like we got to this is going to be a team now, and it's like, yeah, it's fun. You're assembling like one of the greatest college teams of the last 20 years, but it's like it does not like, yeah, cool. I love that move basketball wise. That's great. They're going to be better than they were last year. Am I that scared if I'm the Celtics? I'm just not. Like, you just match up. It's like, cool. Like they'll be a tough out for sure. But it's like
you're definitely more scared. No, you're definitely more scared. Mikal Bridges is a great defender and he can score.
Yeah.
And if then they have a random like Isaiah Quickly night, it's like, oh wait, no, he's not even there anymore.
No, he's on the Raptors.
He just actually re-signed with the Raptors. But I'm really not too worried about it. I don't. If I'm as a good sports fan in a good sports town, I can appreciate being a Knicks fan here and being like, this is awesome.
Sure,
because the Knicks deserve it. When the Knicks are good, it's good for basketball. I think it was the right move for the Knicks. Honestly, 5 first-round picks is insanity. I wouldn't have done that. But like your team has a lot of hype. Like you're going to be top 5 in NBA championship.
And the regular season is going to be fun. Regular season is going
to be fun. Unfortunately, Tibbs is going to run him into the ground. Wow. And at the end of the day, you really don't. Are you going to trust Julius Randle or like Isaiah Hartenstein to be your big man in the playoffs? I don't think you are. I think you're one piece away. You need like Al Horford, who's not going to change the game, but he is going to change the game, but he's not going to put up like 30 points a game.
Yeah.
Because Julius Randle's just going to try and do this stupid turnaround jumper thing,
I hate it.
Draw a foul, and give it to the guards. But no, I think it's great for the Knicks. If you take away the 5 picks thing and just in your brain you're like, we got Mikal Bridges, I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
But still, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know if I'm too worried. And the next trade is Caruso. I think the next biggest trade. There's a couple other trades I might be missing one. Oh, DeJounte.
Yeah.
But Caruso to the Thunder, they're basically just the Celtics now. Did you see that picture? Did I send that to you?
Derek White, yeah. We'll just go get Derek White. That is Alex Caruso.
Just get Derek White, but their top 5 is built just like the Celtics is.
Same exact thing. Guy named Jalen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you got a star in SGA and star in Tatum. Tall white dude.
Yep.
Like
Chet and Chris Nash. Guy named Jalen.
And then who else is on the team? I think that's a great trade.
Lou Dort, Drew Holiday.
Lou Dort and Drew Holiday. Yeah,
same players. Yep. Then you have Derek White. Caruso and Derek White are the kings of like those Twitter stats that will pop up and be like, yeah, Caruso blocks compared to like Rudy Gobert. He actually has just more blocks. And it's like, oh my God.
It's like only person to ever have 3 blocks and 3 threes in a game or something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
It's
like
not that
Caruso.
low, but it's nothing stupid. It's like 7
Yeah.
blocks and 5 threes. Like they both.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah. He's got
no,
a
I
great
think that's
form.
a good trade.
It's a
Yeah.
great trade. It's a great
What
trade
about
from
Giddy
Emerson.
to the Bulls?
Emerson alum Sam Presti.
Yeah.
Giddy to the Bulls. The Bulls should be annexed from the NBA.
I think
Wrong way
this
to word
is,
that.
what I've been noticing with watching Wrexham is that we need to relegate teams in other sports, and they should actually go play with like literal AAU teams.
Yeah,
because the
the
Bulls
Bulls
are
are.
just like
I hate him. I hate everything about him because it's like you almost didn't deserve the '90s, because you've had the
Right.
same owner the whole time who is like just. And might be my most consistent sports take. If you're going to be a cheap owner, don't own a team. Like, just don't do
own a
it.
team.
Like,
It's
it's
just
crazy
stupid
to me
stuff.
that guys will just buy like sports teams simply as like a plus sign on their balance sheet. And it's like, dude, do you even understand that if you put effort into this, it could be like the biggest plus sign of all time? First of all,
You got to be a sports fan
average.
to own a
Like,
sports team. You can't
oh
just
my
do it as a
God.
business thing and then
And
try to save money.
the Bulls owner Reinsdorf, again, look at the teams that Jerry Reinsdorf owns: the Chicago White Sox and the Chicago Bulls. Like, what have they been doing the last 24 years? Like, it's just
only moving the wrong direction.
It's not even like they're terrible, because they're always like either the 10th or the 7th best team in the East. NBA purgatory.
Yeah, but what is that? That's terrible. I'd rather win 5 games.
Me too. That's what I mean. It's like there's no plan. It's like, oh, Zach LaVine becomes available. Cool, we'll get him and then do nothing. Oh, DeMar DeRozan, that can fire some people up. Then we do nothing. It's like, oh my God.
Cool. It's like they wanted to.
Vucevic was washed. It's like,
I love Vucevic, first off, but they wanted to bring in Giddey to be a playmaker to fill Lonzo's shoes. How about you do it last year when he didn't play at all? Why do it when he's coming back? Allegedly coming back.
Allegedly.
That's
also, maybe get
so stupid.
Better medical team. It's almost like they're just being cursed for how they ran like the late '90s Bulls, which is still insane. The fact that they were just like, we ripped off 5 championships in a row. We're going to start a rebuild right now. It's like, dude, because we don't want to pay all these guys.
For being one of the greatest greatest dynasties, greatest franchises of all time, you have 6 championships in 8 years and nothing else.
Never. And nothing else. You had Derrick Rose and then you murdered him for an hour. You had Derrick Rose for an hour.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, that was literally it. You had Jimmy Butler and then you're like, get him out.
Traded him away. Get him out of here.
It's just, I just don't. I'm watching the clip series and it's like, and it's the height of that, where it's like Donald Sterling, one of the worst owners in sports history, and it's just like, what are we doing? Jerry Reinsdorf, you've owned this team since like you drafted Michael Jordan, I'm pretty sure. It might have been right around the time, like mid '80s. Like, dude, I don't get it. There's my.
Let's move to we'll talk about the Celtics real quick and then move off of basketball.
Okay.
So just quick updates for our Boston fans. Hauser has re-signed. I think it was a $2 million. He picked up his last year of his deal, and I think they're probably going to extend him even longer, give him a new deal.
Amazing. Friday beers.
Queta. Yes, true. Well, I don't know if that's been released.
Official.
Okay. Queta and the Celtics like mutually turned down his deal, I believe. So hopefully they can extend him in this free agency period and give him a longer deal. Brissy also turned down his option, but also in one of his vlogs, he was like, next year, let's go around. When we win the parade next year, let's go around twice.
Yep.
So he's like, he's coming back.
Currently with Team
I need
Canada.
him to. I need the vlogs. He needs to get on this podcast first off.
Yes, probably soon.
And then Chris Stapps had surgery out 5 to 6 months, which I did not think it was that long, which is like well into next season.
Yeah, Christmassy, right?
Yeah, January maybe. What month is it?
June.
July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, November, December.
Maybe Christmas Day return for Chris Stapps Porzingis. That'd be fun.
I've lost ya. That's pretty sweet. I keep looking at it. Sorry. What's up?
Yeah, speedy recovery.
Nope.
I just remember this quick Lakers thing. LeBron declining his option. He'll obviously re-up, but the thought is that he's going to take a discounted rate to return so they can try to get somebody else. If you're the Lakers, if you're Rob Pelinka, who are you getting? Zach LaVine?
I mean, who are the top? No, it can't be Zach LaVine, dude.
Right? Who is it?
It's just keep getting those mediocre players. Like, it's got to be a winning player like Drew Holiday, like a Caruso, like a Derek White. Like, you need someone on that team. Yeah. You have the guys that can score the ball, but you need a winner to hold the team together. and I don't know who's the free agents who are free agents right now.
I don't know who would even be. Like, it's certainly not Paul George, and he's not going to resign for the amount of money that they want. I don't even know who a player would be.
Jose Alvarado.
Is he available? Is he a RFA? Is he a free agent? I'd be shocked.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
I don't know
what I'm looking at here.
You know who I'm buying? You know who's awesome? Is Dyson Daniels.
Okay.
He might be.
Yeah, he's good. I don't watch enough
Defensive
Dyson
guard.
Daniels basketball.
Defensive guard. I saw a video on him
I
today.
can't imagine this is the real list, but maybe
Probably
it
some
is.
RFAs in there.
Not a ton of guys.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Kankar?
Is it going to have to be a trade? Like, who are they going to sign?
Yeah, I don't know. J.D. Davidson, probably.
Oh, I'm not letting him go for the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
All right, where do you want to go to next?
Moving on. Whatever you want. I could totally do some U.S. soccer stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy. So
I haven't been able to watch any of it, but I saw some highlights of the last game against Panama.
Yeah, I couldn't watch the game live. I was at a thing.
You can rant. Yeah.
And I kept ducking into the bar to watch it, and then ducking back out, and then I watched the highlights after because a lot of crazy stuff happened in this game. Did a lot of research post because the USA Soccer is like my child. You know, that's like they occupy a similar space in my psyche that I think the Bruins do, where it's like they've just like annoyed me a lot over the last 10 years, but I love them so much. Where it's like luckily most of the other teams that I love so much don't annoy me. So they have this weird thing, but. There's just like, at first I'm like, okay, look, I'm not going to overreact. The sky isn't falling. There's a lot of like crazy things that just happened in that game. No, it's Panama. Like, it's Panama. You can't lose to Panama. You have the greatest team easily ever assembled by the United States of America in their history playing soccer. You cannot be losing to Panama in the Copa America that you're hosting. You just can't do it. I
mean, we invented Panama.
Basically, yes.
How did we lose to Panama?
Yeah, and so these teams hate each other, which was, I mean, in 2017, they knocked us out of the World Cup in 2018. We went down there and played. That was like the last Clint Dempsey team, and they just beat us. And so we weren't able to go to the World Cup in 2018. That was Panama's fault, our fault, but Panama beat us. So they hate it. I don't know how much of the game you got to watch highlights-wise. Yeah. It was pretty remarkable. So Tim Weah gets a red card in like by the way, get off to a great start again. They've been getting off to these great starts, which I love. They should have had 2 goals. One was offsides, which was like barely offsides. So that sucked. Tim Weah, Matt Turner, first of all, gets like sideswiped by this Panama player. Hurt. He might be done.
Because I saw our other goal he was in.
Yeah, Horvath. I don't know how great he is. But Turner's done. I'm not sure when he's going to be back. It was kind of a brutal hit. That's when the game like flipped because everyone's like trying to kill each other now. Tim Weah just basically punches a guy. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, Tim Weah is not like that ever. And so that's how you can tell, like, these two teams hate each other. From that moment, it was just a literal dogfight. And there were some...
Mulligan puts one in.
So, Mulligan, that goal was terrific. I don't know if you saw it. Yeah. One of the better goals I've seen in a while. I think he was the one... I mean, Pulisic always plays great, but Mulligan had a terrific game. He could have had a couple. And he was subbed off in the 71st minute. Why on earth? He was subbed on for Ricardo Pepi, who sucks. Ricardo Pepi is not that good, and he's not even in the same stratosphere as Flo Balogun. And Pepi should have had, like, not exaggerating, 4 goals in this tournament by now. He has 0. He's never been that good. He's always been disappointing. And for some reason, Greg Berhalter's like, I love this guy. We got to get him on the field. And it's like Flo Balogun is having an amazing game in a brutal, scrappy game. I'm going to put the smaller, historically underachieving, cold, bad form Ricardo Pepi on in the 71st minute. It's not even like you sub him off for the 85th minute. Let's get some last-minute legs out there. No, like the last third of the game. I'm like, dude, what are we doing? So that was dumb. There's no Yunus Musa, who I don't know if you remember from the World Cup. He was like our starting CDM. Didn't play a minute last game. You know who I'd love in a scrappy game? A guy who's like maybe the most composed player on the ball on the United States team. Probably Yunus Musa. Not a whiff of him. That seems like a mistake. It seemed like the more Panama tried to make us break, because that was their game plan. Let's just make these guys really mad. They're younger dudes generally. we just fell right into the trap. Pulisic got one of the most egregious fouls I've seen towards the end, and it was immediate red.
Mm-hmm.
And Pulisic just gets up and nails the guy. Chris Richards comes in and nails the guy. I love that, but it's it's throughout the game, and it's they're so rattled. They're so rattled. You could see how rattled they were.
Just young.
Just
young.
Just young, but it's a coaching issue. You know who fixes that? It's a mature leader of men type of coach, where it's no, guys, you're better than all these dudes. All these dudes, I don't even know where they play. I've never heard of them before. All you guys play in Europe. Just go be better and don't listen to it. Go put 3 in the back of the net. Instead, Tim Weah punches a guy in the head. And it's all of a sudden it's a scrappy dogfight. And Jedi Robinson has this brilliant run towards the end, and he just gets clipped and sideswiped. And obviously that's a yellow card, but the body language after that is oh my God, I hate these guys. And it's yes, that's what they're doing. But the message from Greg Berhalter has to be stronger. And I've always thought he was weak. And it's if this U.S. team continues to underachieve and Berhalter clearly fumbles the ball, and they get grouped while hosting the Copa America, heading into the World Cup that they're hosting in 2026, it would be a tragedy. Tragedy.
Yeah.
It's
this was supposed to be the setup for the World Cup run that we're going to have in a couple of years. And it's if we have to beat Uruguay now, right?
Yep, have to beat Uruguay, which not a easy proposition. They are Darwin
one of the better teams.
One of the better teams in this tournament and one of the more solid teams in this tournament. And what really sucks is that Christian Pulisic has just continued to get better. He was an all-star.
Seems like all these guys have.
No, yeah, they're really all they're none of the only one who I've been disappointed by is Gio Reyna, and he has his litany of issues. But it's not the guys are underperforming in their leagues. You know what I mean? Pulisic is so good, and he probably his best year as a pro. And it's oh my God, this is the golden generation.
Berhalter.
What?
We're gonna attack this one on Greg Berhalter.
Yes.
Berhalter.
I thought you said something about Berhalter. I thought you said something about Pearl Harbor. I was I'm in if it fires up the boys.
We're gonna chalk this one up to Pearl Harbor. Still couldn't get over it.
Still, dude, I'm not over it at all. So yeah, I'm pissed about that. And it's gonna be tough to beat Uruguay, dude.
Maybe wake up call. Could have been a wake up call.
Again, I mean, okay, and it's oh, you're gonna fire Greg Berhalter? Well, you did after the World Cup, and then you rehired him. So it's what are we doing? What are we doing?
Maybe we'll fire him after this, and then realize we need him again for the World Cup.
Yeah, silly.
All right,
okay,
that's your U.S. soccer update.
Yep, that's my U.S. soccer. Not a good one.
I don't have anything to add other than up the tune.
Yep, this having gone through similar things. Honestly, our brothers across the way.
Yeah. Oh, who's that? Who's up the tune? That's
Newcastle. But I was just saying England.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, they're struggling.
Yeah, it's a similar vibe.
It's coach right? Tomorrow.
Coach is the worst. I have not watched a minute of Euros this year.
Okay, cool.
I don't know why.
Sweet.
Not into.
All right, what else we got? A little baseball. Bogey and Dan Orsillo back in Fenway Park. I don't know if you saw the tribute video. It was awesome.
Ugh.
It's just I don't know. He didn't play, but we also got smacked today and yesterday. We lost 10-0 today, 10-1. And 9-2 yesterday to the Padres. But having Dan Orsillo back, seeing pictures of him in the booth and just thinking back to those summer days of him and Jerry Remy.
Yeah.
Calling those games where you just have it on the background and all the windows are open. That's just a memory I'll have for the rest of my life, and I miss him. I miss him dearly, and I'm glad he's doing good. No, it's just everyone's back. Alex Cora. Red Sox, we haven't even updated this, have been on an absolute tear other than the last 2 games. But they've been on fire. We talked about how they won the series against the Yankees and the Phillies, but they've been winning games since then. Tanner Houck got lit up today. But they're in the wild card, 10 now, probably 10 games back of first place, which is still a lot, but crazier talks than we were having earlier in the season.
Yep.
And Alex Cora goes into the press conference after a game is let's make a push for this thing. Let's not try and get the third wildcard spot. Let's just try and lock in the playoffs and be aggressive at the trade deadline. So I know we're not going to, but it makes you happy.
We're not going to.
It makes you feel
and this
something.
this is our Cora is our star. And we're just not going to make this guy happy. Again, I mean, it's what's the result of an a bad roster on paper overachieving? That typically means your coaching is awesome, which our coaching is awesome. And it's
I guarantee we get rid of him next year.
Dude, I do too. And dude,
Yeah.
I think if we get rid of Alex Cora, unless it's for some insane reason, I really don't know if I can support the Red Sox anymore. Like until
I don't know what,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I know.
Like it's ridiculous. Like, and it's like I will have zero interest in supporting this club. And I think if like Cora leaves for some stupid reason, like we didn't want to extend him or he wants to leave because he's frustrated, which would be
I would
totally
get
valid.
that. I would understand that, but
Mhm.
if we don't offer him or something like that, it'd be too much.
I'm done. I'm done. Like I would encourage all other Red Sox fans to be done because it'd be a result of this ownership group just not caring, and that's just it'd be a shame, especially because we
There
have
has to be
a top 5 manager.
there has to be a turning point. We can't just keep trotting out rosters like this and hope they overachieve like they are, and then
Right.
sneak into the wild card, and then something happens. Like that's not what we can.
We're
do
not going to be the
every year.
Chicago Bulls. Please don't
I know.
turn into the Chicago Bulls. Okay, that's all I got there.
Yeah, that's all I got as well. Just upset. I don't got a ton more.
NCAA football rankings, I think you had on there.
Yeah, I did have the NCAA football rankings. I don't know if these are. I think they're real. I
thought they were too.
them
I think it was a leak. I don't know if it was an official list, but it seemed pretty.
It was
official.
a leak, but I don't know if it's an official list because it has PFF in the top corner. Like I don't know if PFF released them.
Oh.
Or if someone else released them, but we'll put them up on the screen. It's just ridiculous, these rankings. You know what I realized? Look at them. Tennessee's not even in there.
Really? No Tennessee? So they're under an 86?
But like Virginia Tech is in there. And
so I just went and saw.
My brain said can't be real because Kansas is good, but they're not better than Tennessee.
No.
Oklahoma State is not better than Tennessee. Stanford is not better than Tennessee.
Stanford was 3-9 last year.
Why is Michigan an 88 and Clemson is a 90? Clemson's been dog shit.
Yep. I don't know.
I don't know if it's real, and if they are, it's bad.
I wonder if it's just
like the top 5.
Like, is Colorado the only reason why they're up there is because like the cornerback is a 99 and Shadur is like a 96? Like, is that why? Because they're just bringing up the average so much, you know? But why is Stanford up there? Why is Stanford an 87? They went 3-9. They get some recruit that I didn't know about.
Could not name a player on Stanford.
Same. I don't know what's going on in Stanford, but okay. I have you know what sucks? I have a sneaky feeling this game's going to be horrible.
I'm also worried about that, but I also never played the first one.
Me neither.
So I don't have the crazy expectations everyone else does that played it and is like it's the greatest game of all time.
I just have the Madden expectations, which are in the toilet.
Right. I'm also not a huge video game guy in general. I will be playing this like franchise mode like a maniac.
Yeah.
But I do worry it's going to be horrible if these are the rankings. Although they did release the songs that are on there, and you can like pick a walkout song.
Okay, that's cool.
Shout out Rich Amiri, but there's some sweet
Shout out
ones.
Rich Amiri, friend of the
So
program.
that part looks awesome. I just hope it's not miserable. It's going to be like $100, and I'm going to pay for it.
Too much.
Right off.
They're going to get me right off. Yeah, that's all I got for that. Most underrated sports personalities. You want to hear my list?
Yeah, I didn't prepare any, so
didn't write it down. I'm just going to throw them at you. And I want you to hear what your thoughts are. I didn't write any, so I hope
we kind of did this once.
Yeah, a while ago. I just I'm listening to some guys. It kind of got me. Well, what got my mind going was JJ Redick leaving the sports media space. A guy who a lot of people liked.
Are they going to shut down that podcast? We think.
Mind the game. I know. It's like, dude, why didn't you sub in Bronny when we got?
Because they could, but they could also talk strategy, but lie. Like it could be a reverse psychology thing where they're like, this is what we're going to do against the Magic, and then it's not actually, or double reverse psychology where it is what they do, but then people think it's not, or they could triple it and have people think it is what they're going to do and end up being what they are going to do.
Okay. That's an option.
Options. I'm just throwing out options for them.
We appreciate you doing that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Underrated sports personalities. Kevin Wildes. First things first. He's on the show with Nick Wright. That is the one sports debate show that is getting better. I promise you.
Nick Wright.
Every other sports debate show, any other sports show with more than one person on it that isn't like a podcast, actively getting worse. I promise you, First Things First is getting a lot better. Like Kevin Wildes. Yeah, Nick Wright
less than a month ago was like the Celtics won't be able to adjust after they're down 3-1.
I don't hate that as much as I don't hate like if you're whatever. like sports takes, they've always been a little outlandish.
Yeah.
I hate
And you can't always be good. I
hate like Steven's top 5 list. What are they going to call? Like, what's Bronny going to call his dad?
Yeah.
I hate that. Kevin Wilde's like gets on and he's a Boston guy too, which is awesome. He has like his like gentleman's sweep thing, and so like of course the Celtics wanted a gentleman's sweep, so he gets on in a suit and a tux and he starts playing the piano as the show begins, and they do all this behind the scenes stuff. Kevin Wilde is awesome. You should check him out. Another underrated sports personality that's probably not underrated to you and not underrated to the soccer community, but Peter Drury, the guy. He's the commentator. He is a Sky Sports guy, so like we don't really ever get to see him live in the United States. He is just Shakespeare reincarnated when it comes to discussing matches. I don't understand how
he's awesome because he just goes on rants,
and it is like the most beautiful thing you've ever heard. Where you're like, you can't comprehend how this guy possibly thought of this off the top of his head. Like he must have like hired.
It's even crazier to think that he wrote it down. It's even crazier to think that he sat down and wrote it.
He's been having some unbelievable calls in the Euros so far. Something about Albania. Was it Albania getting through? And it was just like,
wait, they got through?
It was either Albania or the other crazy Austria. Sorry, not Albania.
Austria. Albania was remember that was their boys.
Albania, yeah, terrible. Austria. And he releases, I mean, a minute soliloquy, just beautiful, bringing you to tears. And I have no connection to the country of Austria. I'm like, unbelievable. So Americans who don't know Peter Drury, go check him out.
Okay.
Little zag here. You ready for this? Tyrese Halliburton.
All right.
Really
I don't
good.
like that answer.
I know, really good. He was on McAfee and he was really funny. He played the like kind of straight man. He speaks really fluently or eloquently, really good speaker. And then he goes on WWE.
His voice thing screws me up.
Yeah. He has an interesting little voice. He was just like
two different voices.
Oh.
You haven't heard that? He has two different voices.
I've heard his one voice. I've heard Karl Anthony Towns' has multiple voices.
No, Tyrese Halliburton speaks like two different voices. That's so annoying.
Okay, well, I haven't heard that. I've heard him. He was just giving it to all the McAfee guys. It was great. And then he goes on WWE and fights Jalen Brunson. And I'm like, this is fun.
I mean, the NBA media stuff with the players has gone way too far.
Yeah.
Like it should. I like when they hate each other and they're not interacting. Like, why was Embiid and who was he with? Paul George on the?
That was weird. That was dumb.
The NBA Finals broadcast.
That was dumb. Dumb.
Go practice.
Yeah, go do something. Halliburton on McAfee. That was fun. He did a good job.
Yeah, that's fine because it's a media show. But like, if you're calling a finals game and if you're going to WWE, I think one of them should happen eventually, and it'll probably end up being a Celtics player because I'm wishing this. But go to a WWE event and then you like twist your ankle or something. Like it should.
Halliburton, like I was at one of the two. I like thought they hurt his hand, and he made a whole post today about like, no, my hand's fine, and it's like, dude, that would have been bad. It was like, remember when? I mean, we don't remember when, but Rodman did that in like the middle of the finals. Remember? Like
really?
the documentary. Yeah, he just went to go fight in WrestleMania, like during like in between game 4 and 5 of the finals or something. It's so awesome.
Well, he's Dennis Rodman.
Exactly, so that's okay. I've forgot to write down everybody else, but I had some other people, and now they're gone. So
okay, great. I still think they're not underrated, but I think Russillo is still just
Russillo kind of is underrated.
Russillo as far as like what people actually listen to.
I know.
Like everyone's listening to Stephen A. Smith and all these guys talk crazy shit. Russillo is the most level-headed person. Like
it's crazy that he was on. Yeah.
Even if they're wrong, his takes are just like well put together. It's not him just yelling.
And he's very very self-aware. Oh, that leads me to another very self-aware human. Crazy that he was just on ESPN radio for years, kind of just getting like. I mean, like he had one of their biggest radio shows, but it's like, dude, why? Like, I understand it, but like Mad Dog Russo, who's kind of fun sometimes, is like talks to me on the first take spot and not Ryan Russillo. But it's like this is why I enjoy the media age we're living in, because Ryan Russillo has a podcast. I can listen to it whenever you want. Ryan Russillo is a top tier media guy. Joy Taylor, awesome.
Okay,
she went on Russillo.
I don't listen to a ton of Joy Taylor.
So I haven't either recently because ever since she left the Herd, really. She has a show on Fox that I maybe might start listening to. Because she went on Russillo, did like a whole podcast with her, was reminded how great she is. She's really good. I like her a lot. And then
congrats, Joy. You made Matt's list.
Yep. Congrats, Joy Taylor. You're on the list. And I love you. So, but that's a different thing. Oh, Brian Windhorst.
Yeah, Wendy's good because he
I've
calls
never
people
been
out,
like,
but it's only
well, I've never
he's
been a
never been
like, I always knew him as him, and I'm like, whatever. But it's been all of this like when he cut that promo on Luka Doncic, everyone was like, oh, when Wendy talks, you got to listen. And like he went on McAfee with Halliburton. Halliburton was like referring to like all this. I'm like, oh, so Wendy's like a really respected guy. It's like I can.
well, Wendy obviously with the LeBron stuff with Wendy was like his whole thing,
Yeah.
and then he just goes like media silent until he has something he really cares about and wants to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And what he says is true, although it might like the Luka stuff. He said a lot of true stuff, whether it had to be said or not.
Right.
I don't know, but that's why I think people are like when Wendy talks, you have to listen because he doesn't go on those rants often.
Yeah. He just kind of reports. I have a question for you.
Cool, hit me.
That I think you should be able to answer. Why does Woj have us blocked on Instagram?
Well,
I mean, Twitter.
Oh, Twitter might be me. I don't really go on the Instagram a lot.
Twitter. Sorry.
I don't know. I'll have to tie it back. I do kind of remember something to do with the word terrorism
Okay.
and an at Woj.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what the tweet was.
Right.
He did get blocked by Twitter for a little bit. I think it was a Woj tweet.
Because I went on to try to find some draft coverage, only could find Shams. I'm like, is Woj not tweeting the draft? No, Woj blocked you. That's what it says when you look up.
Okay.
Woj.
Well, that's kind of an achievement.
I guess. Yeah. Yep.
It must have been one really bad one because I know, like, I would know if I berate him all the time, and I don't.
I know. That's why I asked. I was like, have you been berating? It must have been one real bad. Yeah.
From a while ago, because I haven't tweeted at him in a couple months.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We did get banned for a little while. Maybe it was for that.
Go follow us on Twitter. We have a great Twitter account.
Great Twitter account. I think that's all I got.
Yeah, me too. The clip's an hour.
You got to watch clips.
I got to mosey on down to the
the watering hole.
Rodeo.
I don't know. Rodeo. That's right. I should probably make an appearance of this like gathering that I'm missing currently. So
yeah, true. All right. Well, that was a good little update. I'll be back
in a weekish.
Like a week.
Hell yeah! Missing the 4th of July.
6th all day. Gonna miss the 4th of July, but miss in the sense of like won't be able to hang out with half friends on a beach that I've done my whole life, and instead I'll be in Las Vegas watching Dead and Company at the Sphere. So miss
they did the draft
is relative.
They did the NFL.
They did do the NHL draft there. Which
sweet.
NHL draft? We drafted a kid who was like 6'8".
You know what's awesome about him? Hasn't even started college yet.
I know.
So,
how do you see the kid that got drafted to the Ducks?
Yeah, he was like, "What?"
Got drafted 3rd. He was like,
"Me." Okay,
me?
Cool. Yeah, awesome.
That's awesome.
So sweet. This guy hasn't even.
I definitely have a ton more updates, but I forgot.
Me too. Well, we're an hour in, so we talked. We did talking.
Okay. Oh, Wimbledon starts on the 1st. My pick is Blake Shelton plus 10,000.
Blake Shelton.
Wait, no, that's the country singer. Blake.
I was like, what?
No, Ben Shelton. Sorry.
I was like, plus 10,000 is actually really good odds.
I'm in my country mindset.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sorry. What can you do?
Can't take it away from me.
Yeah, you can't do it. You're a country boy at heart. Country Quinn.
Yep, that's right, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.